Good evening, everyone. My name is Pavitra, and today we are just going to have a session on book reading that we have started on Monday. So, this is the book that we're talking about. It's called Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. So we finished two chapters on Monday, and today we're going to go ahead with chapter three. A short gist of what happened last time. So, there is a patient who is not well, and the doctor started hypnotherapy for the patient, and surprisingly, the patient ends up seeing past lives of herself. So today in chapter three, we're going to see what are the things that she has seen, and we're going to see what's the next twist in her story. So, like I said last time, after she, I mean, when we know that she was having a lot of psychological issues, sleeplessness and fear of death and water and everything, and all that started reducing after she started a hypnotherapy session and started reliving moments from her past and previous lives. So again, here. We know that she was already in Egypt, and she also, after that, we'll see where else she went. So, yeah. So, here, another life of hers, apparently, so she has some. So here these people have started writing on paper. So they were in 1536 BC. So like I said last time, she was an Egyptian. She has been a Spanish. Now they have gone even more back in time, and all they are seeing is ice, and they are hanging on the caves. So that's one life of hers. And a couple of more lives. Actually, I don't want to keep saying about all the lives because she has lived a lot of lives, honestly. Um, Now, the doctor apparently was a bit confused because he didn't know this. He was apparently Jewish, and he didn't believe in afterlife or reincarnations. And Catherine, who's the patient, she was a Catholic, so she also did not believe in reincarnation. So for both of them, this was a new revelation, and this was not something that they could easily digest. Uh, the doctor, being very scientific, he starts searching for scientific papers to see if they could get any information on these kind of ESPs. And apparently, he is from Columbia University, and he's also done his postgraduate in Yale University. So he's a very big doctor. So when he looks into paperwork to see somewhere he wants to find some scientific claim, so he sees doctors who are from Brown University, from other big universities. Everyone seems to have had some sort of information regarding this. They have met patients who have seen near-death experiences, and people who are able to speak foreign tongue, especially those who don't know this language. Suddenly, they start speaking these kind of languages after they have started seeing their past lives. Uh, so specifically here, I would like to say one place. So what happens is now, this is in 1473. In this past life, this person, Catherine, becomes a boy, and he is living in Netherlands. So suddenly what happens is, this boy is going to go to his death, and usually during the hypnotherapy sessions, what happens is Catherine will usually speak in a very low voice. So, but this time she starts speaking in a very rough kind of a voice. So it's husky and loud. That's how they have described it. And let me tell you exactly what was said at that time. Okay. So our task is to learn to become God-like through knowledge. We know so little. You are here to be my teacher. I have so much to learn. By knowledge, we approach God, and then we can rest. Then we come back to teach and help others. So, this kind of made the psychiatrist go speechless. He was not able to understand what was happening. But he also understood because he has been going through a lot of sessions with Catherine. He understood that this was not part of her. death. It was not part of her birth. This was somewhere in between, and this was not her voice. So, and also what happened is, she asked who this person was to Catherine, and Catherine says that this was one of the masters, highly evolved soul, which was not present in the body, but somehow they were transmitting information to this psychiatrist. And this shocked the psychiatrist because he didn't understand what this was and why this was happening. And he in himself, in his book, he states that he was very scientific and he could not believe all these things, and these were something that was beyond his understanding. And then what happens is, but then to another thing happens. What happens is, a couple of sessions later, Catherine, she starts to become more psychic. So first, she was just a person relating and telling about her past lives. Then suddenly, she's able to reach out to masters, and she's able to relay messages from the master. And then suddenly, what happens is, she becomes psychic and she's able to predict the future. So something what she says definitely keeps happening. So the doctor, neither her family, nobody's able to believe her. So what happens is, she goes to a racetrack where the horses are racing, and what she does is, she keeps saying which horse is going to win. So I think this was done around 10 times or something, and every time she was able to pick the right horse. And that brought about a change, and the family ended up believing her, and that became even a bigger change for the doctor, because now he had no other option but to actually believe that she was psychic. But again, his problem was, he was a student of Yale. He was one of the he passed with honors, and this he could not believe, because how can a person be psychic, right? It didn't make sense to him. um and then but still he was like, he had to go to the end of this. He wanted to see through completely. So what happens is that, though her symptoms are improving, is still not out of her issues. She's still having these kind of fear. And so what happens is, as a psychiatrist, normally he would see just one event or two, three events, because it's just one lifetime, right? We have just, imagine, 60 to 100 years. We only have this 100 years to look at. And so the psychiatrist usually is able to look through each and every event of their life and have an understanding of what happened. But in this case with Catherine, he's not seeing one or two lives, but then in each session, he's able to see through two or three lives. He's able to see through 500 years of her life. And so he was forced to take different measures to find out what really was traumatizing her, and what really bad happened in one of her lives, which is still causing her to feel all this pain in her present life. So again, they go into the session, and he makes her think about what is still hurting her. So this time, what happens is, they go into another life of hers, and she's talking about how in this life people are being dying up for about floods, how the water is having diseases, and people are dying from the water. And uh, and apparently in that specific life, the people are having a belief that if you have garlic in your house, that is going to heal you, and that is going to help your body cure from ailments. And suddenly she moves forward towards her death, and in her session she's talking about her own death, and she dies peacefully. But after the death, there is a pause, and she's saying that she was able to see herself float above her body, and she's being drawn to a familiar light. So this is also happening in the sessions, and couple of the sessions, sometimes it's just she talks about her birth. Sometimes she is able to see herself as a baby sleeping on her mother's lap, and she's also able to see her death. And sometimes she just crosses and goes into the next past life of hers. But then sometimes what she's saying is, she's able to see herself float above her body, and she says that she's waiting for someone to come and guide her to the next place. And And she explains this as some sort of a light and a familiar light, and slowly she walks towards the light and becomes one with the light. But here, as she's waiting slowly for the same light, slowly her head begins to roll from side to side. And suddenly her voice changes to the same husky and loud voice I spoke about the last time. And the masters say, they tell me there are many gods, for God is in each of us. So when this voice changed and this type of sentence started to come out from Catherine's mouth, the doctor, being the second time this is happening to their session, he clearly knew it was not Catherine but one of the masters who was speaking. So suddenly he asks, "Who is this, and what you're trying to say?" So the master replies, "Your father is here, and your son, who is a small child. Your father says you will know him because his name is Avram, and your daughter is named after him. Also, his death was due to his heart. Your son's heart was also important, for it was backward like a chicken's. He made a great sacrifice for you out of his love. His soul is very advanced. His death satisfied his parents' debts. Also, he wanted to show you that medicine could only go so far, that its scope is very limited." So, this was exactly what the master said to the psychiatrist. Um, and this shocked the psychiatrist out of his life because every single sentence that was spoken by the master was the true thing. Though the masters know, and Catherine also subconsciously would be knowing that this is the truth, uh, for the psychiatrist, it was not something very easy for him to accept. At the same time, he knew every single word that was being spoken is the truth. So here they speak about the fact. So let's go across the paragraph again. So your father is here and your son, who is a small child. So actually, for the psychiatrist, he's Jewish and his father died of a heart failure, and his firstborn son, what happens is when he was very small, like 23 days old, he dies. So thing is that the baby had a very one in a million heart issue. So his heart was exactly reverse upside down. So the chambers which is supposed to take the oxygenated blood instead had the deoxygenated blood, and vice versa. So even after trying a huge surgery on him when he was just 23 days old, they were not able to save him. And in a couple of days after his surgery, he passed away. So the master says that the son, baby boy, he actually chose to come into their family and stay there for 23 days. So this way he would be able to help remove that bad karma from their family, help in relieving them from their karmic deeds. And so that's what they say. His death satisfied his parents' debts. Um, Also, this psychiatrist was a man who really, really believed in science, and he believed that there was an answer to everything in science. So, specifically, his father's death, who had a heart issue, and his son, who was having this heart anomaly, both of this happened in his life because um, the masters or everybody over there wanted him to know that science is not the end, but there is more than science that is there in this world. Um, Also, the third thing, so his father's name was in Hebrew. So his Hebrew name was Avram, wherein his English name was something else. So the whole world knows his father only by his English name, and nobody knows his father's name by Hebrew because since they were Jewish, he also had a Hebrew name. Since his father died, and within a couple of months, his daughter was born, they named the daughter by the father's name. And none of this Catherine knew. So he knew for sure whatever the information that he was getting was in no way Catherine would have ever known in her entire life. And nobody in their living surroundings, nobody in their life knew about the father's name being transferred to the child. So this made him concretely believe that there were masters out there, and they were always there to take care of everybody over here. and this totally changed the life of the psychiatrist. But the truth is, this is not the end. We have so many more chapters coming up in this book, and if in the first four chapters itself he has found out so much, I'm not sure how much more we are going to know when we finish the entire book. So this is where I have come to for today. We have a lot more chapters which we will be looking up in the future sessions. I hope you had a good time listening to it today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Um, if you or anybody have heard any kind of this kind of happenings, probably in your near family or some other story, or if there is something that you would like to share, uh, please, you're welcome.
Thanks, Pavitra, for the wonderful session. It was really nice listening to this continuously, like after last day's session. And just when you were saying about this point, for example, the horse race, where she was able to correctly say which horse will win next time and these things. Maybe not exactly similar to that, but I just wanted to share one of the experiences that I had in my meditation. So 5 years before, during COVID time, 2020, that was the time that I started practicing meditation, and it was in Paris. So generally, people will have different experiences in meditation, but I never sort of had any experiences like to to be frank, when I close the eyes, I just be with my breath, and then sometimes will have some thoughts, but not any profound, let's say, experiences. Maybe it was like after for 30, 40 days of meditation, and my friend came at the time from another city, and we both meditated, like, let's say, 1 week. And all the 7 days, we both had same experience. That's when I started believing that, okay, in meditation, there is something. Which means, for example, let's say we both will start doing meditation without keeping alarm or nothing. We opened our eyes simultaneously together at the same time. And then we said that, hey, today I felt as if it only 5 minutes it's been, but then it was already 1 hour gone. So the next day, for example, if I say, I felt like the time was going, and then I felt as if like 30 minutes passed. He also opened eyes at the same time, and he also said the same thing. So how come, if that was, for example, most of the times when we don't have the thoughts, we either think like, okay, maybe I slept at the time. But this is how you can analyze. This is how you can interpret. When you are in the state of soul, the time just there is no time. The concept of time doesn't exist for the soul. So you feel as if nothing happened, but there might be profound things happening. We don't know. So this is how we can, by testing, by analyzing with some situation, we can understand. Okay, there is something in meditation. So yeah, just I thought of sharing this so that might help someone who is watching this. Thank you.
Mm, yeah.
Thank you, Arpita. It was very profound. It's very true, right? It might have been the very small thing, but it's the small things that actually matter. It's when we sit down, and I think that's what meditation does. And when we sit down and we actually focus on our breath and our thoughts, we actually slow down and we are able to see each thought separately, instead of seeing the whole thing as an entire day, and then we just see, oh, a couple of few things. We are able to slow down and see every second of our time and see exactly what we have done. that makes us also realize exactly where we are going wrong and things, right? It's a very nice thing, especially when you said right now, it kind of made a lot of sense. Thank you.
I have a question. Like this one, I used to think like once in a while. Today, I thought like I can ask this question. So, where our memories are getting stored? Because we know we read something, and we either we memorize it or we have it in our brain. This is what we say. When we say we are memorizing it or we are remembering it, we we are saying it is in our brain somewhere. But when people say or these kind of psychological things when we do, it is like thousands of years or like so many births people used to remember. Let me may it may not be when they are not when they are very conscious, but when they were able to get into their subconscious mind, they were able to recollect it. And so basically that's what I don't have. I don't know exactly like memories from where it is. Yeah.
I think Arpita will give a right answer for this. Well, I do know, but then I think he will say it in a bit more proper manner, actually.
No, well, when immediately after Jagannath asked that question, I just thought of, for example, um, the atom bomb, let's say, Jagannath, the size of the atom, we don't even know. Very little. We don't even see that with our naked eyes, but see the amount of impact that is able to create, isn't it? Everything is a matter of energy, isn't it? So if that is the fact. The soul, I think, it is the most ultimate thing that the scientific world still didn't identify what exactly it's made out of. So, if I am not wrong, that will definitely have the possibilities of storing all that is happening, and will come to happen, because um, the existence is equal to the soul. So the soul knows the existence, and the memory is part of it. So yeah.
Maybe I feel on this that, when we are born, we don't have any identity. When we are right from that's my belief that I feel that when we are in the mother's womb, we start getting the feel of the world around us. People put hands on mother's tummy and speak to us. And when we are born, we don't know who we are. Then we are being given a name, even without us being aware. When we grow up, we give ourselves an identity. It's an impact of the environment that we see around us that strikes within our universal energy, within our soul and code in our mind. That I feel that somewhere it strikes and it stores in our soul connected to the mind. So now when I speak to Arputa or Jagan, you first time we are seeing each other, maybe we meet after face to face somewhere, we strike each other, say at a mall, suddenly see each other, and somewhere in our subconscious soul and mind, we start getting somewhere that, oh, I've seen Jagan somewhere, I've seen somewhere. Then we start to recollect. It's like removing the dust from our tables, and we find some old books and document, and suddenly it recollects all the memories. So I feel this way that all our thought processes, whatever we think, whatever we see and grasp around us, somewhere it gets stored in our soul and mind. That's how we are reflecting our way of gratitude and forgiveness around your our self. So the what we eat, what we drink, directly or indirectly has its impact to store our energy within our minds and soul. So rightly said that it may not have a particular place or thought process that, oh, it's in this part, this heart or mind, but it is what we see from our eyes, the senses, the five senses that we feel. That's what it makes our life peaceful and state of zero thoughts. I don't know, it makes sense, but that's what I feel in this way, that how does we remember all these things and how do we feel calm in the midst of all this? It's just the meditation that helps us to be in the zero thoughts that makes us calm.
Yeah, that could be possibly, that could be like, yeah, when we have a better understanding of what soul is, because like we say soul is in our body at present, and even if our body doesn't exist, the soul is going to exist. It could be eternal, and yeah, maybe the time or the point when we understand what soul is exactly, maybe we would have the right answer for this one. But yeah, I agree that it could be somewhere, not on a physical form or something. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Vivek. That was a very nice answer. Um, like even I only have an idea of what it is, but that idea itself, you gave a lot of clarity to it, I think. So that was very nicely put and kind of gave much more, I don't know, some sort of like you said, the dust, right? That it feels like somewhat it has cleared, and we are able to. I am able to see specks of what I'm supposed to find. But of course, like Jaganana said, unless and until we truly know what soul is, like how we see scientific proof and concrete evidence, we still will not be able to truly grasp how we are able to remember all these things, I guess. So yeah. Uh, has anybody anything else to share?
I need to just, I would just want to thank to both of you and to Jagan as well, that attending your sessions for the first time together to share the universal energies. So just want to offer my gratitude to all three of you to share the energies together. That helps us to keep, because I'm sure all of you in this field know that more the merrier in a way, the powerful energy that all of us meditate together, it vibrates more energies even if we are miles and continents apart. So thanks a lot for everything that you, all of you are doing and sharing mutual energies with each other.
Thanks, Vivek. Thanks for being part of this one. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you, Vivek. That was very kind of you. Even we, if I'm not wrong, you are in London, right? We did try to meet you a couple of times, but every time it seems to be missing.
Exactly. I
um,
was in London. I have now migrated to Chicago in US. Yeah. So
oh,
starting 1st of May, I have migrated to Chicago. So now I'm with my parents. So starting new phase, new. So I have left everything in the UK and now I'm in Chicago looking out for the new opportunities. So now I'm staying with my parents. Yeah.
wow, that's really nice. I really wish you the best of luck. I hope you're able to find what you're looking for in Chicago.
I'm sure. I always believe that when it's the right time, things happen. We may want to do something, we may not get it. So I'm just sharing the insight. Is I know this is more of a spiritual thing, so that's the reason I put it down. That if things happens as per what we wish, it is, I would say, a great blessings of God on us. That what we wanted has happened, and if things happen which we didn't wish, but things are happening against our wish, which we didn't wanted, is actually God's wish, because God knows better things in our lives, what is right for us. So the universal energies direct us in the direction of what is right for us. Sometimes those directions are exactly matching our wishes, so it's God's blessing. And when those directions are not matching what we want, rather than feeling sad or bad about that event, we should rather thank God that it's your wish and I will be accepting this as your blessings and follow that path. And trust me, I have followed that in my life always, and it has never given a sight of tears of upsetness, because that's our own perception. If I'm sitting here and liking this, it is my perception that is making me feel this session good. But the same person, if I start disliking this session, it is my perception that is making me dislike. So It's us, how we grasp the universal messages around us, and most of us should pick up the positive energy. That's how I look at life. So there is always a positive reason behind why we do some things in our lives, and we should accept this as a God's blessings in our life.
That was amazingly put, in all honesty. Um, Probably 10 years before, I would not have believed it or would have understood what you were saying. But today,
Okay.
at this moment, I can with full confidence say that I totally understand what you mean.
Thanks.
Yes, we all have fallen down that path, right? So that
Exactly.
beating gives us confidence. Yeah, so thank you so much. And I think every time somebody shares their amazing journey and their wisdom, it's a reminder for everyone else that
True.
it's like a wake up call, right? Like remember where you are, what you're doing, and
Exactly.
yeah, so that was very nice. Um, if you don't mind, can I know what is the time in Chicago right now?
It's 6 hours difference. So in you, it is 4 p.m., quarter past 4 in the afternoon.
Oh,
So I'm way in a very comfortable time zone rather than UK. UK, you are at a 10, you're almost midnight, I mean, about to sleeping time. But for me, it's
yeah,
afternoon. So that's fine. Yeah.
that's nice. Okay. Wow, right. Which means we'll be seeing you in upcoming sessions, I believe.
I will. I'm the trying because in the afternoon, if I have to go somewhere out with parents, that's the reason I could not join the last two sessions. But whenever I don't have to go anywhere. I ensure that I would love to join these sessions here. Thank you for this. And thanks
Okay,
to
wonderful
Arpita
to
for
see.
adding me. And I think you, via whom you added me into the common group, English speaking group. So I appreciate that. I think you are
Thank
the
you.
first one whom I reached out to get me into these sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's just that suddenly when I see somebody new person, I get kind of scared. Oh, somebody I don't know. What if it is
No,
somebody who just,
exactly. But the energies always makes us connect to the right people whom we can speak. So thanks to the universe energies for connecting all four of us here. Yeah.
yes, yes, very, very true, very, very true. Vivek. So yeah, thank you everyone. As we know, in UK it's 10:15 now, and I don't want to keep you all up. So so thank you so much everyone again. We will see each other tomorrow, same time.
Yeah.
Until then, it's good night from me and everyone. Okay,
Thanks. Good
bye.
night. Take